I hear the train a-coming. Coming through Bull's Gap.
We're here today at Bull's Gap Railroad Museum in Bull's Gap, and we're going to talk to this young man about some Civil War era cannons that he has on display.
All right.
What do you have to say about these beauties?
This is a 10-pound Parrott rifle.
10-pound Parrott rifle?
Yeah, it's named after John Parrott. John, they had they originally made a 3-inch ordnance rifle, and it was blowing out the back end.
Oh, okay.
So Mr. Parrott says, I can fix this problem, and he went to the shop and had them put this extra piece of metal around the back end of it to strengthen it. So they named it the Parrott rifle. Both of them were rifled. This one's smoothbore because it's a replica, but both of them were rifled. These are the shells they shot. This is a blunt, and it is a 10-pound shot. They would put it in put the powder in, load this in. This end, when it was fired, would flange out into the rifles and get the spin as it went out the barrel. The guys could go out and find some captain or general staying in somebody's house, and they could drop this from a mile away. They could drop it through
I was just going to ask you, how far away?
A mile away, they could drop this in the window. They would turn around and send this one in right behind it, filled with horseshoe nails and powder and all the good stuff that they could find laying around.
Shrapnel.
Any kind of shrapnel. They put a little bit of powder in there and load it down.
Those things are heavy of themselves.
Yes.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. I don't have the wrists for it.
They would put a paper fuse in. That paper fuse was 6 inches long. It was color coded because some of the guys couldn't read figures. It was in the artillery, so they color coded red, white, blue, yellow. They called for a 4-second fuse. They just cut it down to that piece of paper down to the yellow or red, whatever mark it was, for 4 seconds. They dropped it in there, and as it went out, it lit that fuse. When it got where it was going, it was burned down into this powder and exploded shape. So they could use this against, if you were down under the bank, they could send it over top of you and it would explode over top of you.
So were these cannons used in a specific battle of
They were.
the area? They were all over.
They were all over. Not only the North had them, I mean, not only the South had them, but the North had them too. They
Yep.
were, they were, at the start of the war, even the uniforms were coming out of the same warehouse.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
This is called a canister round. It's not plans, but it's still where it would catch the rifle. They would, if the infantry was coming at them too close, they would drop the elevation on the cannon, slide this one in, send it down range. It had 50 to 75 mini balls in it.
50 to 75 mini balls.
Right. So there's only 2 natural gaps in this area for the railroad.
Hence Bull's Gap.
Yeah. John Bull came down after the Revolutionary War. He got a land grant. He came down and he actually settled up there. He was a gunsmith.
And his name was John Bull?
His name was John Bull, and that's how Bull's Gap got its name, was after John Bull. Because he's the first one in, and he, got the land grant, and, came in and settled.
And strategically had a significant point of advantage at the Gap.
Yeah. The railroad was built in 1858 and it was completed in 1858. They sent two survey teams out, one north of the river, of Houston River, and one south of the Houston. They met in Knoxville, laid their plans out, and they found out it was more feasible to come south of the river than it was north of the river because of the terrain. So that's the reason railroads over on this side instead of over toward the water, because the terrain was a little bit more non-forgiving than this was over here.
Right. So Steph-N-Lee, of course, loves her. We love history. We both love history, and of course, she loves this cannon.
I sure do.
It's really pristine, isn't it?
Pristine and well kept, and it's still in action with traveling around to different historical events in the area.
Yep, doing reenactments and stuff.
Yep, good thing to know.
All right, so here in Bulls Gap, the building in the middle of your screen, that used to be the bank. That building over there now in the middle of your screen was the general store. And the Bulls Gap Railroad Museum
was the company store for the railroad. So we're still at the Bulls Gap Railroad Museum. We're here with AJ Gregg, and he is a mastermind, one of the masterminds behind all these sweet trains and models and topographies. So what scale is the models that you run on this one?
Everything up here on this layout is all HO scale. It's 187 for those that's a little more intrigued. Just about this one. This HO scale layout we've been working on for years and years. Ever since they moved down into this building, they've always had an HO scale model in this room. Just in 2021, there used to be a wall. You can kind of see what was separated right here. We took it down, expanded this from the old layout we used to have, which y'all were here with the old layout.
I sure was, before this one came down,
So this is now the old layout, which was part of the new one, but within 6 months, there used to be a whole more just of a square style layout, just one big table in that part of the room over there. We took it completely down, drew up a new idea, more user-friendly for all the kids to walk around, see more, put more details, towns.
I have seen, so every time we've come, we have seen the kids really enjoying it, and they utilize the little gullies that you've made in the little trappings that they can sit there and watch the train come through the bridges, and it's very cool.
Oh yeah, they love it.
And it's family friendly in here.
They love to run. Then we got a bunch of little phones. We just let them have their own little field day with it.
Oh my word! And they can run it too. They can actually hit the buttons and run their own HO train set.
It's been a long time coming, but it's never done. This project will never be finished, no matter how done it looks. There's always something to work on with it.
Oh well, that's a model builder's joy. I mean, that's the detail. They will never keep tweaking and bettering every situation.
Right. So like this is where a tunnel's getting put in.
Yep. That was recently realigned. It used to, what we now call a storage track right here. The coal mine used to run around on what is now a storage track. There gave us too many problems. We just decided to blow the mountain out, and there'll eventually be a tunnel where it just comes out of the coal loader, which we can actually load coal in these coal cars with. We'll do that here in a little bit if you want to.
So that's an actual coal loader model scale.
Yeah, it works.
Super cute.
What we use is just aquarium substrate, filter substrate.
Oh, yeah, for fish tanks?
Yeah. Pour it up top there. Got my little trap box over here. I can open and close the chute, lower it, and we can load some of these cars.
That's phenomenal.
This coal loader is probably my favorite part. It's almost like watching a satisfying video. You just get mesmerized in it, and you can load all these coal cars without realizing it. You can spend hours on it without realizing it. It's just.
Oh, wow. That's almost crazy.
Like I said, you just use your train of thought, just focusing. You can do this for hours.
So AJ is an actual conductor for the Norfolk Southern that runs right in front of the museum, as well as a conductor in here for all these wonderful model trains. We're here with Bill here at the Bulls Gap Railroad Museum. And it's a very special day today. There's an open house and anniversary of it being in this location now for 10 years.
Wow.
And he's going to explain to us another significant part about this area and this railroad out front. And it has to do with FDR.
FDR went to dedicate the Smoky Mountains, and when he went to it, he went by train to Knoxville, and his train stopped here for 5 minutes, coming and going from Washington D.C. to Knoxville. Had to stop for 5 minutes to take on water and wait on another train to pass. Nobody, he come through at 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody knew he was on the train.
Nobody even knew.
And we didn't know he even stopped here till we actually got his train orders from a guy in Knoxville that had worked. Well, we got him from his widow. He had worked on the railroad and kept he was attached to FDR's funeral train from the time that he went in as president until he passed away in Lawrence, Georgia. And his funeral train went from Lawrence, Georgia to New York, and it went up the East Coast. And it didn't come through here, but when he went to dedicate the Smokies, it came through here and stopped.
That's very interesting. You dedicate the Smokies. We're in the thick of the Smokies right now in Appalachia.
The kids are having fun.
Yep, absolutely.
Now this setup here, I believe, is at what do you say, 027 scale?
027 scale. And there's Bill getting the big wigs out, getting the heavy duty ones out.
So they got the Christmas train lit up.
Absolutely. How wonderful is that? I'm so glad to see that all lit up. And that came from the family homestead here, not the family that runs the place. Their homestead. How wonderful. 441.
And then
Gorgeous.
they have a whole thing set up down here with more trains. Little post office truck there. And then it actually goes behind the mountain, which we'll take a quick look at. And underneath.
Miles of track in this setup, in this diorama.
If I'm not mistaken, they said if you started at one side, it would take what, like 5 minutes to come back around?
At least, yeah.
Yeah. But you can see here that the track goes behind.
That they've been well preserved and mining the track. You really have to micromanage how this track's laid out.
And we actually came up on an Amtrak that's running in there. Oh.
No, they derailed.
And that's where it ends. But look at the little village in there. They put a lot of man hours into getting this done, and they still have a lot of work to do. So we got this set up over here too.
Still doesn't sound right, but maybe it's upstairs. I'll start this guy out again. You want the caboose? Sure. Caboose is running good. Oh, here he's taking off. Okay. Except the caboose is not there yet.
Hang on. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, he should catch up.
Now that's on his own momentum.
Stop there. You're out of reach now.
Almost. So close.
The end track is at the portal, but he's going to need a goose, one way or the other.
That how you the loving little,
Yeah.
a loving.
So they have a lot of memorabilia in here.
A lot of information to stop and read.
Yep.
Lots of times there's always somebody here to talk to and get some personal history of the place.
Yep.
You won't go wrong.
No, and they've done a lot of work. And still a lot of work to do yet.
But it's a labor of love here
Yep.
in Bulls Gap.
You can see this platform here needs to be finished off, but
Don't forget about the souvenirs.
yes,
They
yes, so they have
plenty of
those here too.
souvenirs, along with memorabilia.
Yeah, shirts and hats, which I really do like their Bulls Gap shirt. I think that's a great shirt. I never seem to be able to find my size though. But they do have other shirts here too. All railroad themed. They also have a live feed here. And if I'm not mistaken, it is on YouTube.
It is. It is on YouTube. It's Bulls Gap Railroad Museum.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out. So this one here is actually in Jonesboro.
That's the Chucky Depot in Jonesboro.
Yep, which we did a
And they
video
also-
there.
Yep. They also have live feed.
And this one here is in Virginia, in Roanoke. So go ahead, hon. So now we got rain showers. But wonderful day, right?
Wonderful day. Amazing. The rain doesn't bother me at all. It feels extremely natural right now.
The good Lord's peeing on us.
Bulls Gap Museum, Railroad Museum is just the quaintest, friendliest place I feel like we have been.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of those, but I'm so glad that we were friendly and met the people here.
Yeah, so I'd like to say that if you live near Bulls Gap, Tennessee, if you're through this area to visit, anything like that, and especially if you have children, you really owe it to yourself to stop.
Bring them out to experience the history and
Right.
the hard work that went into the railroads.
Yep, and you know, if you love the model trains, this is definitely a great place to stop. There's so many folks in there that are so knowledgeable on all of it.
We're big on exploring your own childhood. You know,
Yeah,
don't
right,
forget it.
Right. So we hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And until next time, have a Steph-N-Lee day.
We're here with Bill, and you're a big conductor here.
Well,
What do you call yourself?
one of the fellas.
Well, one of the fellers here at the Bulls Gap Museum Railroad. Oh, stop.
What'd you do? Butchered it?
Yep.
I'll cut it out, no problem.
Okay.
You know it don't matter. This will show up at the end of the video. Stephanie making a faux pas.
We're here with Bill here at the Bulls Gap
Railroad
Museum. And it's a very special day today.